Spirit Beings, and welcome to The Sacred Jewel. My name is Jewel, and we are a spiritual community growing together while on our sacred journeys. Today, I am super excited because we are going to be learning all about sigils. So I'm going to show you 3 different styles of sigils and how to create your own, how to activate them, and how to charge them, along with some fun tips. So let's get started. If you're new here, by the way, and you're into spirituality, the astral realm, witchy things, anything like that, please subscribe to join our growing community and say hello in the comments. I would love to meet you. So let's get started with sigils. So if you don't know what a sigil is, it's basically a pattern constructed with a specific purpose, energy, or intention. As simple as that. And then there are going to be 3 different ones I'm going to show you. The first one is called Witch's Sigil Wheel. The second one is a Magic Square Sigil. And my third and final and favorite one, I don't know what it's actually called. Online, I found it might be called the Artistic Sigil. So that will be my favorite one for the end. This open space, I'm going to be showing you some information you're going to need. That's why it's kind of blank over there. So before we start, you are going to want a paper and pen or pencil if you want to follow along throughout the video and create your own, or you can just watch this and come back later when you're ready to create your own magical sigil. So I have been working hard to update all of the descriptions in my videos with the timestamps, so you can find that below if you want to skip through the 3 different sigils and the other points of the video. And also all of my credits are always in the description of where I find my information. So let's get started. So here are some helpful tips to think about throughout your creating process. Before you start creating your sigil, you do want to create a protective circle, or if you can't create a protective circle, at least do like white light protection. So a quick description of how to do white light. A lot of people do this in meditation, and I used to do this a lot when I was meditating on a daily basis. So first you want to ground yourself, and by grounding yourself, what I mean is closing your eyes, take your normal 3 deep breaths, and really imagine there are roots growing out of the bottom of your feet all the way into the earth, into the core of the planet Earth. And from there, on every inhale, you bring up through your roots from the core of the earth all this white light energy. You bring it all the way up and out your crown chakra above your head. So when you exhale all this light, and then when you inhale, you go back down and breathe in all the good white light, and then exhale the light. And you keep doing this to really bring this powerful white light through you. But for the protection light circle, you then, after you ground yourself and do that, you want to imagine this cone or oval or circle full of that white light that you've just pulled from the earth, just to protect you while you create your sigil. That way no negative entities or no negative attachments or intentions get involved with your sigil you create, because you just want it to be your pure energy and intention. After you have created the white light protection or circle, you want to be using your intuition throughout the entire process. So I'm going to show you how they say to create the sigils, but you always want to use your intuition and do what feels right to you and your intention. Also, you want to be creative, so it doesn't have to be bland and boring sigil. You can have fun and be creative, and that's the last point, is have fun throughout this process. So let's get started with the Witch's Sigil Wheel. So I actually found this in the Grimoire for the Green Witch by Moura. I found it in here, and the first thing you want to do is decide on a word, so a keyword that you want this intention, like what do you want to attract into your life? What is the purpose of creating the sigil? Whether it be protection for your home, you want to attract love, like self-love, you want to be strong, so attract strength, wise, brave, anything. Think of a word, and then from there you want to get this circle. So this is what the Witch's Sigil circle looks like. And we are going to create one right now. So this is what you're going to want to do. I am going to turn the camera around and hopefully walk you through the process of creating this in a nice smooth way, because I've never done this layout before. So let's get started. Alright, hopefully this isn't too wobbly, but we are going to get our paper and draw the original circle of the wheel. And then start with the outer circle. And then an inner circle. You want to do A through M. And then N through U. And V through Z. Okay, so after you have your circle, you want to decide on the word. So we are going to be doing the word L, or love. So for love, you want to just do a small circle at the L point. So let's do it in red. L, O, V, and E. And then it says for the E, you want, for the final letter, do a cross line. But I've seen a lot of people just put this kind of line. But you can do whatever you want there. Some people put an arrow. And then once you see the pattern, you take it off of the circle. So we just have a dot, a zigzag, oops, and a line. So that would be a love sigil. Very basic, very simple. You have your symbol, which you can't see that good. Oh, there we go. So that would be your sigil for love using this witch's wheel. And now what you can do is either engrave that symbol like into a candle or on the paper and then burn it, or fold it and tuck it into an herbal pouch to like store under your bed or to place, you know, somewhere in your house or on your person, carry it around with you to remind yourself for self-love. But we'll go more into how to activate and charge them at the end. But I just wanted to show you that is the basic witch's wheel. So if you want to screenshot the wheel and then play around with it, and like I said, get very artistic with it. That's just very basic. The artistic one is the third one. So let's move on to the magic square, which looks like this. And this I actually found from a book called Wicca for One by Raymond Buckland. So this one I think is even better than the witch's sigil. So this one, this is the chart you're going to be using. And basically all of these numbers in every direction, up, down, diagonal, they add up to 15, which is known as the constant number. So for this, the same thing, you want to pick, a word. So for this, we're going to mix it up and pick the word strength. And you want to use this alphabet to get the numbers of the letter. So you want to use this. You can screenshot this so you know what you're using, or even write this down. So based on this chart, if you're using strength to find the number, S is number 1, T is number 2, R is 9, E is 5, N is 5, G is 7, and T is number 2, and H is 8. So you get all of those numbers of the word you're using, whether it be love or anything that you're trying to attract, and then you add it to get your total number, which is 39, and then you add 3 and 9 together, which is 12, and you add 2 and 1 together. So it's like finding your life path number that I did in another video to get one number. That is going to be the number for your word. So strength is related to number 3. So you really could just, when you see 3s, it could be a reminder, like remind on your intention of being strong and having strength. So you can use that for any word. So once you have 3, you want to go back to your chart. So once you go back to the chart, you're going to do the same thing. You're going to draw on it through the letters. So let me show you. Hopefully this goes a little smoother than the first one. I'm going to flip you around. Okay, so get a new piece of paper and you're going to draw the magic square. Okay, so once you have this, the numbers are 4, 9, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 1, and 6. The same thing similar to the last one, you would put a little dot on the first letter, S, which is 1. So you'd put a little dot here, and you put a little dot at the end, which is 8, number 8. Okay, and then after that, you want to draw out the letters. So S was 1, T is 2, which is over here, 2, STR is 9, 9, E is 5, and then N is 5. So for this, you want to do a symbol, which would be a line, and then like an infinity, but with triangles, like a timetable thing. You would put that here to show like a stop and go point, since you have two of the same right after each other. So EN 5, 5, and then G is 7. So you can go down a little over here to 7. From 7, T is 2 again. So how did they do it? They did it like right under it, not touching it. And then H is 8, which is way over here. So now you want to remove that from the square. Oh, and then also you want to put a rectangle on the number 3, which represents strength. So now take that away, and you have it. So that would be your sigil for strength. We're back. So again, not my favorite angle, but yeah, let's continue. So that was the magic square, and there's actually 7 different squares. So how we did the number 4 through 9 is the first one. There is actually 7 that relate to the 7 planets and the 7 days of the week. So this was created by the famous ceremonial magician named Cornelius Agrippa. Oops. And he actually created, so every day of the week has a different meaning. So the one we just used was actually supposed to be done on a Saturday, and is the Saturn magic square, because Saturday, the planet is Saturn, and it is associated with building, freedom, gifts, life, protection, real estate, sewing, strength. That's why we chose the word strength. And then the other one, so Monday would be the moon. The moon, one of the 7 other charts would be the moon, which Monday, you would perform this on a Monday. It has to do with ancestors, childbearing, dreams, healing, instinct, memory, merchandise, purity, theft, and virginity. So if one of your words is healing, or you want better memory, you would want to perform it on Monday using the moon planet magic square. So I'll show you, for example, today is Wednesday. So we should have done using the Mercury chart magic square, which looks like this, and it has a lot of numbers. Since there's so many numbers, you want to use this chart, which gives you a letter for the number. So using the table of value, and if we did the word love on the Mercury planet magic square, L would be the number 30, O would be the number 60, V would be 400, and E would be 5. But there is not a 400 number on that magic square. So if that happens, you just divide it by 10. So the 400 for V would actually be 40, which is on the chart. And then you do the same thing with how I showed you how to do a magic square. You just do the same exact thing to get your sigil. And you can do that for any of the 7 planetary charts, with any day of the week. So if you're curious, Wednesday is associated with business, communication, debt, fear, loss, and travel. So if you want to travel more, travel would be your word. You'd perform it on a Wednesday with the Mercury planet chart. And to find the rest of these, you can just Google magic square, like Mercury planetal square. Tuesday is Mars, and it's associated with enemies, initiation, loyalty, matrimony, prison, protection, war, and wealth. Thursday is Jupiter, and so if you perform it on a Thursday with the Jupiter magic square, you see where I'm going with this, is associated with clothing, desires, harvest, honor, marriage, oaths, riches, and treaties. Friday is the Venus square, which is associated with beauty, family, life, friendship, fruitfulness, growth, harmony, love. Oh, so for the loved one, of course, Venus, you'd perform it on Friday. Nature, pleasure, sexuality, strangers, and water. We already did Saturday, and Sunday is Sun planet. Sunday, which is associated with agriculture, beauty, creativity, fortune, hope, money, self-expression, and victory. So if you want to attract some moolah into your life, definitely perform it on a Sunday with the Sun planetary magic chart. So some of the tips for this, they said this one you definitely want before you perform it is to set up your protection light or circle. It also says that the line should be drawn in black ink, which I actually did it in red. So do it in black ink. The numbers or letters should be in red. So I had it backwards. And you never let the numbers, or letters, or lines touch, which I did. So those are some tips. Like, how can you not let them touch if they overlap? But I guess when you connect certain ones in the same box, don't let them touch, just kind of put it under it, which I did try to do in one of them. And lastly, if you're creating one of the magic squares, it says don't let your shadow fall over your work when you're creating it. Might take away some of that power, or you might bring in that dark light energy into your sigil, which is probably not what you want your intention to be. So let's move on to the third and final and favorite one, which is called the artistic sigil. And this one is super fun because you can just have a lot of fun with it, be super creative, let your mind really, there is an automatic sigil, which you just think about your intention and let your hand like automatic writing, which I didn't go over, but there are other sigils that you can look up online. So this one, the artistic sigil, you want to pick a phrase. So it doesn't have to be one word. You don't want it to be one word. You want a phrase. So we are going to use I am happy. And you always want to write it in a way that it sounds like it already exists. So like I am instead of I want. Because if you say I want to be happy, you're basically saying that you're always going to want to be happy. You're never going to be happy. So you want to say, I am happy. So hopefully that makes sense. So the first thing you want to do is write out, I am happy on the paper, which I'm going to show you. And then you want to remove the vowels and duplicate numbers. And then you put them all together into like a shape where all the letters connect and like grow off of each other. This is where it gets fun. And you can be really creative, use your intuition, do swirly lines, put a nice circle around it, put some dots in there, hearts, whatever you want to do. It's your sigil. So let's get started with that. And also I forgot to mention for all of them, when you're writing them, you want to think about in your mind or say it out loud or a mantra as you're creating it, what the intention is. So when we were doing love, you would just be like thinking of love or the feeling of love you want when you're creating that sigil. And for strength, feeling like what it would be like, what kind of strength were you looking for when you were creating it. So let me turn you around one last time to show you how to make the artistic sigil. So now is the fun part where you want to put all of these together in a certain shape. So start with the first one, and this is when you can have fun. So like you can do a little swirl for the M. So we did the M, check. Now the H. So you want to figure out where do you want to put an H in here. And the whole time you're doing this, you're thinking, I am happy, you're feeling happy. So M, H. So this already has a line, so you can do like a little swirly H. And I like mine to mirror on the other side, so I'll do another H just because I think it looks cool. So we did the H, now P. I feel like this looks like the top of the P, so I'm just going to bring this line down on both sides. So that's my P. And then Y, let's see, we can do like a little line here for Y on both sides. So that would be your sigil, and you can like do a cute little circle around it. You can do like I am happy. Do whatever feels right to you. So I feel like that looks pretty cool for the I am happy. Alright, so I hope you liked that I am happy artistic sigil. Here's another one I did a while back, and I did it on a painting, and this was to represent money. So out of this whole thing, I did, that's the word money, but in my way. So yeah, you can turn any of your sigils into paintings. So this gets us to the last topics of this video, which is, so to charge your sigil. So after you have created your sigil, you are charging it when you're creating it by putting your energy into it. But say you want to give it some extra oomph after you finish, you can put your hands over it and get grounded again and imagine that white light that you surrounded yourself with coming out of your palms. So you would hold your sigil and imagine the light coming out and really charging up your sigil. You can also do this by, you can put your energy into your sigil by dancing, singing, chanting, clapping, whatever feels good to you and your intuition of how you want to really make that sigil feel powerful. You can do that. And then lastly, how to activate it. So once you create your sigil, so if you do it on a piece of paper, you can just burn this, and that's after you charge it, and that will activate it and put it into the universe to make it happen. So, right, and then you can bury it in the ground. You can consume it, so you can, like, if you're eating a piece of cake and there's, you know, icing on top, you can put the sigil on top, like draw it with a toothpick, charge it, and then eat it, and that's a way to activate it. Carve it into a candle. So if you saw my previous video of how to do that enchanting courage spell, I carved into the candle, and then as it burns and the wax melts it, it is activated. You can also draw it, so carve it into the wall into your house. So if you want to do a protection sigil above the entrance of your door, or under a piece of furniture, or really anywhere on your, so if you have like wooden silverware or spoons, you can do a sigil on that. And when you're cooking, it could be like a health sigil. So when you eat your food, you're going to be healthy. You can also do like a message in a bottle. So do it on paper and send it off into the ocean to activate it. Draw it in the air or dirt. So you can just draw it, sigil in the air. If you need a quick sigil, do it in the dirt if you're like meditating in the forest. A couple more, you can create jewelry, so like amulets, and put it on the back of an amulet or your favorite necklace, paint it on there and wear it around. You can also paint it on a painting, draw it on your skin, or do a tattoo if you're brave. And last point is if you do a more permanent one, so if you do it on your house for protection, you are going to want to charge it every now and then. So maybe once a month on the full moon, you can charge it with your energy, dance around it, do whatever you want to charge it up again. So that is it for my video. I hope you enjoyed how to create sigils with me. Comment below if you liked this video and what the next topics you want to see, because the very next video is going to be about deities, and I'm super excited. That was also requested. This video was requested. And then I want to do another starseed video with markings in your birth chart, but of the starseed planets and origins that I have not covered yet so far. And we will take it from there. So thanks for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.